Welcome back. In this second video, we're going to start actually using the animations that we created in Mixamo, but we have to do a few little things to get it to work at the start. Now, just to show you here, our robot here, if you sort of look to see, that's the model. I think when I click on the animation here, I'm just trying to find it, or maybe on the rig. Oh, there we are. He is of a humanoid type. If we go and look at our animations, so if you click on one of these, they are set to generic. We need to set the animation type to humanoid, and then set the avatar to the avatar, our robot avatar there. And I think the rest is okay. So first thing that we'll do is we'll select all the animations, even though we're not going to use all of them. We'll grab them all. So I'm just going to click on the first one, click on the last one, and hold shift and highlight them all because we're going to do all this at once. Switch this from generic to humanoid, and from this avatar definition, we're not going to create from this model. We're going to copy from the avatar, and then that lets us select our avatar. And our avatar, I believe, was in bot here. Actually, I'll just click on this. That'll be easy to find it. There's our robot avatar. It's somewhere in those files there. So just make sure that that's selected. And so we've got robot avatar, yep, humanoid, copy from other avatar, apply. And it might just take a minute here because it's going to go through each one and do that. So what's nice about this here then is when we go to the animations and we pick one. So let's find the walk one. Sprint, walk. There we are. There's so many here. Walk forward. So when we go to walk forward here, we should be able to see our animation playing. Let's just see here. Give me a second here. The important thing is making sure I click on the robot first. And actually, I might have to go back to the bot here. This robot here, there. Okay, and then click on animation. There it is. And then if I hit play here, now he's not doing anything. Let me see if I go to my animations and click on one. So there he is. And so there's a jump. Let's see if we got walking. Now it seems to be pausing. There we go. So there's our walk left, backward left, walk run forward. So I have to hit play again there as I change them. Okay, so you can kind of see how the animation in the model, we're able to sort of view the playing, and we've got all our animations. So we're going to talk about our walking forward. So I click on that. Let's just take a look at that. And so there is that sort of slow walk forward running through those frames. You can see it. And yeah, we just now need to sort of work with the blend tree to get those animations to play as we control our player here. So what we're going to do is get this walk backwards and this walk forward into this blend tree here. I'm just sort of looking, the blend tree sitting by its, oh yeah, because we've zoomed in on it. Sorry, I was getting worried there that we hadn't, something gone wrong. No problems. So on the walk backward one, we'll do that first. One thing you'll notice is that this is kind of the animation name, which isn't the best. We'll change this up. We'll say rifle walk backward because he'll be holding the rifle here. So we'll keep that in. And so that will change the name of that, and you'll notice it changes it. I thought it would change it here. Okay, apply. We have to apply that. That's why. But before we apply that, there's one other thing we want to do, and that's do the loop time. So make sure that that loop time is set, and then down here, apply. And then we'll do the same thing with the walk forward, crouching. We just want regular walk forward there. Okay, so it says Mixamo again. So we'll come in here, change this. So we'll do rifle, walk forward, set the loop time, and then hit apply there. All right, so we've got both of those sort of renamed. Now when we go to the blend tree, and we had plopped in those two spots here for the motion, we can drag these two walks in. So I'm going to put the walk backward. I'll throw that on top. And you can see it's sort of brought in here. And then we will put the walk forward in there as well. And you can sort of see these two coming off this tree, I guess these two branches here. And then what we have to do is sort of figure out with this threshold and be able to sort of see, which which key basically is going to make it play the walk backward animation and which one will do the walk forward. But before we do that, I guess it's probably better to put the idle in as well, just because it just makes a bit more sense to have the idle right in the middle, and you'll see that in a second here. So again, I'm going to change this up, the name, same as before, so I'm going to call it rifle idle, and then we'll make sure the loop time is on and apply that. Now we'll go back to our blend tree here, and actually let's add one more. Motion field. And you can actually move these around. So I'm just going to drop that into the middle because it makes more sense to put that in the middle. And then we'll drag the rifle idle into the middle here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to sort of change this a little bit. By default, it's sort of gone from 0 to 1. What we're going to do is do -1 as backwards, 0 as idle, and then 1 as sort of the forward here. So I'm going to change that by getting rid of the automate thresholds, and then that way we can set these up by ourselves. And so we'll set that to -1, like I said. The middle will be 0, and then the 1 will be forward. Now, what's useful about this, if I can get my robot to show up, I'm just trying to get the animation showing up here. Just give me a second. And there it is. It was just hiding at the bottom. No worries there. So just when you're clicked on the blend tree, you should be okay. And so if I just sort of zoom in and set the camera a little bit better, we should have it so that when I'll hit play here, zoom out a little bit, there we can see it. So if I hit play, he should be in his idle. Doesn't seem to be moving at all, but that's okay. Let's just see if this will move backwards. There we go. So as I set it more towards -1, you can see he's moving backwards. Okay, and then that's his maximum speed. And then as I pull that forward, he'll slow down until he stops at 0. Okay, so there should be the idle there. Yeah, so now you can see he's moving slightly. And then as we go in towards the positive, he changes direction and then speeds up. So when it's +1, he's full direction there. So you can kind of see how we can kind of blend these together. Now this is only one-dimensional at the moment because he's only moving along the, well, whatever axis, right? Either the X or the, I guess, Z, right? He's just either moving forward or backwards. He's not able to move sideways. So that's what we'll look at next. We're going to sort of make this from a one-dimensional blend tree. We're going to change it into a two-dimensional blend tree. So first, let's get those other animations ready here. So I'm going to go back to my animations, and the ones we want to use are just these walk left, walk right. So just like we did before, I said rifle, walk left, and set that loop time. Apply, and same thing with the right. So loop time, rifle, walk right. Okay, so once those are set up, we're going to go back to our blend tree here. Oops, apply. I thought I applied them. We're going to add 2 more. Add motion field to accept those 2. I'm going to move these around a little bit. I'm going to move this guy up. We're going to change some of these things here. So don't worry too much because we've got to do a few things here. So I'm going to throw rifle idle. Where am I here? Backwards. Okay, there we are. So forward and left and right. Walk left. So I'll do that one first. And then walk right. I'll throw that one in there. Rifle, walk right. Okay. Now it's put different values in there, 2, 3. So if you sort of extended this out to like 2 or 3, he's going to be walking left and walking right. It doesn't make much sense. What we need to do is sort of have it in 2-dimensional. We're doing a 1D, right? It's all sort of strung out along this singular line. So we're going to change it to a 2D simple directional here. And what you'll notice is that it sort of creates this plane, and we create these 2 parameters. We need to sort of name these parameters here. And what we're going to name them is, there we go, I can change it, basically horizontal and vertical. So one's going to be the horizontal movement, and I think we had to add another one there. Add another float. I'm assuming this one's a float. I don't know how you can check that. I'm sure it's a float there. This guy too, we will change this one into a vertical. And so really that will match up with the X and Z axes. Now, when you look on here, so let's just click to make this one vertical. Basically, this will be sort of our horizontal along our X axis, and then this one will be our along our sort of Y axis. But when we put it into the game, right, the ground is Z, XZ plane. So it gets a little bit confusing. But, you know, this could work, you know, if you're doing it in a 2D game as well, not just a 3D game. So that's why it's kind of mixed up a little bit, right? Because this is position X, position Y. Anyways, so on the idle one, that's what we're going to keep it at, 0 and 0, okay? So it's going to be 0 for the X, 0 for the Y. Now for the backwards, we're going to keep the X, because that's X is this way. We're going to change this one to -1. And what you should see here is a little dot. So this is actually your backwards is here. And then you can imagine on the forwards, right, on that y-axis, we'll put a 1 there, and it pops up to here. So, and also over here, notice that now we've got these different values. Okay, we've got our different axes, the horizontal and the vertical there. Okay, same idea on the left, but we're going to go to the position X. That's going to be -1. And then, you're right, on the position X for the right, it will be +1. And so then you can kind of see that we can either move forward, backwards, left, and right. And we're going to be able to access these in the code, and that's what we'll do a little bit later on. So if I hit play here again, okay, so he's at 0, 0, okay, so if I do the horizontal, so he's moving either to the right, a little hard to tell, but he's shooting to the right there, or to the left. And then if I put that back in the center, and then if I do the vertical, right, now he's either moving forward or backwards. And then you can sort of do it both, right? So now you could do a combination of both horizontal and vertical. So he's moving in those diagonals. And you can actually see that with that red dot. That's roughly where he's headed there. Now there's a little bit of sidestepping going on, and we just have to sort of fix that up a little bit with the orientation of it, with the animations. But basically, we're done in terms of getting the animations set up. So like I said, we want to, just pause that there. We want to next, we're just going to do a very, very simple ground, create a bit of a world so we can actually start to see him move around in that and give us some context for him moving. And then the second thing will be to put a code, right, so that we can access these parameters and control it with the keyboard or whatever we want to control it with so that he can move around there. Great, so we've got some pretty good progress. We brought in our character, he can move around, and now we just need to actually be able to control him.